The 2016 presidential elections are approaching quickly, and not many students at Baker know much about the candidates running. Each politician has a specific view on how to approach the current issues in our country. Can you tell me the top 5 candidates in the Republican presidential race?
Ben Carson, Donald Trump, Jeb Bush. That's all I know.
I want to say Trump, Carson, and is it Cruz?
Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton are running, and I know a couple of Republican candidates who are running.
Hillary Clinton, I don't know.
Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders and all of them are running for president.
I think they're Donald Trump, Ben Carson, and Governor Casey.
For each candidate, Abby and I are addressing each candidate's views on abortion, civil rights, education, and foreign policy. Abby has taken over the Republican candidates.
Donald Trump supports pro-life with exceptions for rape, incest, or health, and he also believes the Common Core is a disaster. He thinks we should teach citizenship instead of dumbing down the information we're given.
I think they should get rid of it because trying to keep kids on the same page, if you have a child that excels more than another student, if he already knows the material, he's going to be bored in class, so he might tend to act out.
He believes same-sex marriage is a state issue, but he does not support same-sex marriage.
It's kind of a touchy subject, but I've never been one to, what makes you happy, but it doesn't harm me, it doesn't affect me in any ways.
Ben Carson is an avid supporter of the Pain-Capable Unborn Child Protection Act. This act will protect any unborn child from the pain of abortion. Carson fielded a few questions during the question and answer session about his views on foreign affairs, saying that the U.S. must take a stronger leadership role in the world. Carson has said that the U.S. must staunchly back its ally. He supported Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's speech to Congress denouncing Obama's nuclear limitations deal with Iran. Carson also believes that Obama has turned his back on Israel. When questioned about this belief, he answered, "All you have to do is go to Israel and talk to average people, and I couldn't find a single person there who didn't feel that this administration had turned their backs on Israel. I think the position of President of the United States should be one where you begin to draw people together behind a vision, not one where you castigate those who believe differently from you."
I don't like it because they could turn against us and use it on us. So I don't like it.
So you agree with Carson that
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Bernie Sanders' views on abortion is pro-choice. He believes in protecting a woman's right to choose and has a lifetime pro-choice record. He believes in safe abortions and a vocal advocate for family planning and funding for contraceptives. In January 2009, he supported the Prevention First Act, which includes grants to states for family life education. These programs expanding funding for family planning and access to contraceptives and are aimed towards teens to prevent unwanted pregnancies and STDs.
Okay, so with the abortion situation, that's also a very controversial topic that's going on right now. So I would say I'm more on the liberal side, so I'm more pro-choice. Personally, if I were ever in a predicament, I don't think I could have an abortion, because I don't think I could. But I do believe that a woman's body is her choice, and that, also it's other things you can look at too, like adoption or something. But you never know what someone's going through or what's going on in their mind. I can't change their decision. It's not my life, and I'm just focusing on me. Personally, I wouldn't do that, but if they want to, they have that right because it's their body. So.
In June 2013, he said, "Enforce against anti-gay discrimination in public." He has a vision which says that we judge people not by their color, gender, or their sexual orientation, but by the quality of their character. In the most recent Democratic debate, he was given the question, do Black lives matter or do all lives matter?
Black lives matter. And the reason those words matter is the African American community knows that on any given day, some innocent person like Sandra Bland can get into a car, and then 3 days later, she's going to end up dead in jail, or their kids are going to get shot. We need to combat institutional racism from top to bottom, and we need major reforms in a broken criminal justice system in which we have more people in jail than China. And I intend to tackle that issue to make sure that our people have education and jobs rather than jail cells.
You just see like a lot of people talking about that on Twitter or Tumblr or even Instagram, and they're like, some people are like, okay, you shouldn't say Black Lives Matter, you should say All Lives Matter. But I think that kind of is already a thing, All Lives Matter, and like it's not so much a big deal with other races as this with Black people. So he's not saying, okay, only Black Lives Matter, but he's just saying in this particular predicament and things that are going on, that's what we need to focus on because there's obviously an issue. And I think people get worked up about it and make it into this really big deal when it's just like saying, okay, there's an issue, we need to fix it, and that's really it.
On October 28, 2015, he said, over 600,000 arrests for marijuana continues to rise. Too many Americans have seen their lives destroyed because they have criminal records of marijuana use, and that needs to change. He said, keep people in jail who are committing real crimes.
I recently watched a video like about a PSA kind of thing about meth and how like that's becoming like a really big drug in America and how a lot of people are dying from it and it's really hard for people to get off. So like maybe they should focus on that a little bit more. And like if marijuana was used for medical, I don't know like how it helps people because I've like didn't research it or whatever, but I feel like if it can help people, then it can help people and stuff, so yeah.
You can make it illegal, or you cannot make it illegal, and people are still going to smoke it.
Hillary's views on abortion says that she's pro-choice. She said being pro-choice isn't being pro-abortion, but believes you shouldn't intervene with a woman's right to choose. Her views on civil rights is that she stated she's an advocate for women's rights. She said, we need to understand that there is not one formula for how a woman should lead their lives. We must respect the choices that each woman makes for herself and her family. Through the years, she has expressed how she is a feminist and pushed on issues needing to be viewed such as sex trafficking. There was a big controversy in 2000 where she said, marriage has got historic, religious, and moral content that goes back to the beginning of time, and I think marriage needs to be as it always has been, between a man and a woman. Then, in 2014, she said, I reevaluated and changed my mind on gay marriage. People have said that they don't support Hillary after this statement because of being inconsistent.
I mean, people, like, there's a big gay community in America, and I feel like people change their decisions and like they alter the way they feel because like they listen to other people and they see the sides of views of things. So, I mean, I don't really blame Hillary for opening her eyes and realizing that love is love, so.
I think her views changed because of mostly the race, but then she probably just convinced herself that it was the right thing. Yeah. Morally.
We recognize that peace in the Middle East is not moral imperative, but the smartest strategic choice to ensure security for the children of Israel. On November 24, 2015, she said, welcoming refugees will benefit and fight against ISIS. If you're in law enforcement, you want people in the communities that are looking to get information from you to feel like they want to help you. And if the message from the people who are running for president, for example, is that we don't want to take any Muslims in whatsoever, that is not good law enforcement. Propose and pass a National Teachers Corporation where it focuses on improving instruction in classrooms by bringing teachers into the classroom, and a new initiative that would provide more schools with stronger principals. This corpse got passed.
On civil rights, Carson believes that homosexuality is a choice, but that same-sex marriage is the law. He believes that our Constitution protects everyone, regardless of their sexual orientation, and there is no reason that you can't be perfectly fair to the gay community. They shouldn't automatically assume that because you believe that marriage is between one man and one woman that you are a homophobe. When asked about the Black Lives Matter movement, Carson responded with, all lives matter, and of course we should be very concerned about what's going on, particularly in our inner cities. It's a huge problem that we need to address in a very serious way.
Good luck to every candidate running. Thank you for tuning into this segment, and if you're able to vote, I encourage you do so.